Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mel. Today I'm doing the 1001 books tag. This tag was created by MsReads A Lot, so I'll leave her information in the description down below. But I was tagged by Rosika from the Midnight Reader channel. Rosika's channel is absolutely great. She has a bunch of unique ideas and things I've never seen before in Booktube, so definitely check her out. The first question is, do you follow any book lists? And my answer is no, I don't follow any book lists. I'd love to see your recommendations if you have any. I am relatively active on Goodreads and Storygraph, so I get some of my recommendations from there, but most of what I read has been recommended on Booktube or by family or friends. Next question is, approximately how many physical books do you currently own? How many ebooks? I'm at my apartment right now, but I have a lot more books in my parents' house, but this is currently what I have on hand now. These are the physical books that I'm planning to read. Excluding this one. I already read this one and it was trash. So just a really bad erotica. I also have a lot of cookbooks. I've got 3 right here. I also have a couple of copies of random books I haven't read yet that I got from book giveaways. So I got these, and I don't know if I'm ever gonna get to them. So at my apartment, I have about 15 books that I physically own. In my parents' house, I have much more. There are hundreds of books, but I think only maybe 15 to 20 of them are books that I actually like and books that I own. Most of them are just from my childhood. Now, ebooks, that's a completely different story because most of what I read is on my Kobo here, and it looks like I have about 100. Most of those are books I've already read and borrowed from the library, but some of them are just ones I've downloaded and haven't got to yet. And I generally prefer to read on my e-reader or borrow physical books from the library. The next question is, approximately how many books have you read in your lifetime, and do you keep track? And the answer is yes, I absolutely keep track. I started keeping track last year in 2020, where I set a goal to read 50 books, and I've been keeping track ever since. I keep track of my TBR and everything I've read on Storygraph and Goodreads. I'll leave links to my profiles in the description. I only recently got back into reading over the past 2 years, and I didn't keep track of anything before that. My Goodreads says that I've read close to 250 books since tracking. Over the past year alone, I read 160, and the year before that, around 50. So I'm assuming I read 300 to 350 books in my lifetime, if you count what I read as a kid and what I had to read for school and didn't track. Next question is, have you read any stories from the Arabian Nights? Do you have a favorite? And my answer is no, I haven't read anything from Arabian Nights, but I'm open-minded and willing to try. Next question is 1,000 flavors. Do you have a favorite food or flavor? That's a difficult one. Recently, I noticed that a lot of the foods I like happen to have tomato sauce as a key ingredient, so I guess tomato sauce could be counted as a flavor. But if I had to choose a favorite ingredient, it would probably be potatoes because they're really versatile. Next question is, have you ever read a book that is over 1001 pages? Is there one you recommend, and is it worth the time? What is the longest book you've ever read? I don't think I've read a book that's over 1001 pages, but I've definitely gotten close between the After series by Anna Todd, those are huge, or everything by Sarah J. Maas that I've read. A Court of Silver Flames and Crescent City are both chunky books, I think close to 800 pages or just over, so I've definitely gotten close. It definitely depends on your taste and tolerance for trashy romance, but I would recommend After by Anna Todd because it's just a wild ride and it's really entertaining. Sarah J. Maas I think is a hit or miss. The books are way too long, but I think they're worth trying. Next question is, do you have a non-bookish bucket list, and what is one thing on the list? One of my goals recently has been to run a 5K. I recently started the Couch to 5K training program, and the idea is you're supposed to go from being a couch potato to being able to run a 5K in about 9 weeks. I just finished week 7, so my first 5K is in 2 weeks, so wish me luck. Next question is, do you have a lucky number? Is there a story behind it? The closest thing I have is probably the number 21, and I tend to like it because it's the day of the month I was born on, but that's the only significance behind it. Next question is, do you have a favorite author and or genre? I wouldn't call Sarah J. Maas my favorite author, but I read more books from her than probably anyone else. I don't really like her books, but I just like to be involved in what the rest of the Booktube community is reading. I haven't found an author that I like 100% of the time. They're usually hit or miss, with one book I really like and then the others just being meh. Courtney Summers being a good example. If I had to choose a favorite genre, it'd probably be thrillers, because I love to sit down and finish a book in one sitting, and thrillers are often a great way to do that. I think it's really fun to be able to be introduced to a bunch of characters without there being so much world building. I also dabble a little bit in fantasy, but I'm usually too intimidated by the genre, so I typically only read YA fantasy. The next question is, do you have a favorite outdoor activity? I'm more of an indoor person, so my number of outdoor activities are very limited, but if I do go outside, it's usually to run or walk. I love to listen to an audiobook or a podcast, or even my favorite music. My area has some really great walking trails, so I love to go out there when I can. The last part of this tag is to tag a couple of friends, so I'm going to tag a couple of booktubers I love to watch. I'll leave links to their channels in the description. So I'm tagging Nunchi Goya, Molly the Gemini, Sophie's Books, Kai Knows How to Read, Reading This Life, Books and Chill, and Books Tea Marie. Again, I'll leave links to their channels in the description down below. Definitely go check them out. If I didn't tag you and you want to do this video, consider yourself tagged. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.